But we begin this half hour with a tragic incident in a Florida jail. A grandfather who died in custody, raising questions about possible abuse. Now, a single graphic photo of the incident has surfaced. NBC's Carrie Sanders has details for us this morning. Carrie, good morning.
Well, good morning, Ann. It's a photo of 62-year-old Nick Christie, and to his wife and some others, it's especially troubling to look at because it conjures up the image of torture, like something from an enemy prisoner of war camp. It's a photograph snapped in March of 2009, a picture Lee County, Florida jail officials long denied even existed. Nick Christie, naked, tied to what's been called the devil's chair, a so-called spit mask wrapped around his neck and mouth. Guards at the Lee County jail told investigators they repeatedly pepper sprayed Christie, dousing him 10 times because he was combative. 62-year-old Nick Christie died just hours after the final blast of pepper spray, nearly 2 days after he was arrested. Nick's wife, Joyce.
You've seen that picture. What do you see there?
Torture.
Torture, she claims, of a man experiencing a mental breakdown. Mistreated, she believes, like a sadistic soldier would treat an enemy in a war zone. But this was a jail in Florida.
This is a man that was probably pleading for his life, that knew he was dying. He was a mentally ill guy that was strapped in a chair naked. He didn't deserve to be treated like that. All he needed was a hospital.
The retired Boilermaker had traveled down to Florida alone to visit his brother. The rest of his family planned to join him there for Easter. But while on vacation, Nick Christie was arrested for trespassing outside a fast food restaurant, which was next door to his hotel. Once in jail, guards say they had to restrain him because he was antagonistic.
If he was creating a ruckus, if he was belligerent, if he was...
He didn't deserve the treatment he got. He didn't deserve to be treated like that.
In your mind,
No.
Can you rationalize any moment that somebody should be strapped in a chair like that?
No. I can't imagine another human being doing this to someone.
The medical examiner concluded Christie's manner of death was homicide. His heart stopped beating after he was restrained and sprayed with pepper spray by law enforcement officers. Yet, after an exhaustive internal investigation and a review by the state attorney's office, no one's been charged in Christie's death. The family is now suing the Lee County Sheriff's Office.
Once he's restrained in the chair, he's no longer a risk of harm to anyone.
So the pepper spray is vindictive?
Excessive,
Malicious?
unjustifiable.
Attorney Nick DiCello says just days earlier, Christie had been arrested for disorderly intoxication, locked up in that same jail. During that first detention, Joyce Christie called deputies, warning them of his mental condition. This from one of her more than 25 calls.
He's off his medicine, he's manic, he's a little far gone, more than manic.
Lee County officials now admit they had Christie's medical file from that first arrest. But when he was rearrested for the second time, it was a Friday, and these medical files were not readily available. And for Joyce Christie, aside from this one haunting photo, she's left wondering what happened before her husband was strapped to the devil's chair, because jail officials say security videos on that cell block that might explain what really happened do not exist.
I think it's erased. I think it's gone.
Because?
Because I think there was something worse than what we see.
Now, upon arrival at the hospital, doctors say that they initially couldn't touch Nick Christie because he was so doused in pepper spray, he was toxic. They had to neutralize him with milk and other products. We reached out again to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, and they issued a statement which says, as a regular practice, the Lee County Sheriff's Office reserves comment on pending and ongoing litigation. Ann?
All right, to be continued. Carrie Sanders, thank you. It is now 7:35. Now here's Matt.
All right, Ann, thank you.